Federal Drive is presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, proudly providing health and dental benefits to federal employees and their families. Visit GEHA.com.
As the IRS prepares to cut thousands of jobs, many employees are facing an uncertain future. One retired IRS employee has launched a volunteer network to help them find their footing, offering free career coaching, resume help, and emotional support to those navigating life after government service. Here to share more about this career support for you is its creator, Perry DeToto. Perry, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Terry, for having me.
You know, you left the IRS, I guess, almost 13 years ago now, so you're not part of the current downsizing, but you're obviously well connected to folks who are. Let's start by talking about the mood there. What is the mood professionally and personally amongst the workforce at IRS?
In talking to former colleagues, friends that still work at the IRS, the environment is very difficult. It's been anxiety driven, and it's been very difficult for people to make it through. There's individuals trying to determine whether or not to depart the IRS, concerned about losing their job, being forced out.
Well, as you watched this begin to happen earlier this year, you launched the Career Support for You website to help those folks who are leaving the IRS. What inspired you to take that action now, and what kind of support are you getting?
I've always wanted to help people in various ways, and I've been helping people since I retired in writing resumes and preparing to apply for various positions. So when we all heard that the administration was going to downsize the government significantly, and we heard that the IRS could be cut by up to 50%, then we started hearing that employees received the fork in the road letter, many of which were being told that they were being released because of their performance when they previously were rated outstanding. I thought, this just doesn't seem right. There had been other reductions in staff by previous administrations, but they always seemed to be associated with formal studies, some sort of analysis, but this seemed to be random. So I decided in February to reach out to several of my former colleagues from years ago, all retired IRS executives, managers, and senior staff to see if they would join me in trying to help these, specifically the IRS employees. So my team is made up of, as I mentioned, executive managers and senior staff. They have a wide range of expertise from tax compliance to HR, finance, even IT, and beyond. Many of them have worked at other agencies and even in the private sector.
You mentioned that your team is made up of volunteers. Access to your support and services through this website is all free. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
And so how have IRS folks been participating? Are you seeing a rise in volume as the fork in the road deadline comes up here at the end of September?
Well, it's been interesting. There's been somewhat of a static response to our website over the last month or two. But we believe as the benefits are going to end September 30th, that as we get closer to that date and maybe beyond, we'll start to see a tick up in traffic to our website as well as emails into our inbox asking for additional support. But we've had thousands of people come to our website.
One of the things that you've mentioned in conversation and also on the website is that it's difficult for former IRS employees to translate their skills into the private sector. What would you say is unique about the experience of working at the IRS that folks should be highlighting?
Well, a lot of times it's the terminology that's used in the federal government. As you know, we use a lot of acronyms. So we want to make sure that the employees, in teaching them or guiding them along the road of how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, that we're also trying to guide them along in the way of how to map their skills or how to translate their skills into private sector language.
I'm speaking with Perry DeToto. He's the founder of Career Support for You and a former IRS employee. Well, when we think of IRS employees, we may think, oh, those are the folks who review my taxes. But there's HR and IT and facilities managers and all kinds of folks who may be needing your support.
Yes, absolutely. And in the way of the numbers that have been cut, the IRS has been cut by about 26,000 employees, which equates to about 25% of their entire staffing. And a lot of positions have been cut. For example, the small business division has been cut by about 8,600 employees, and that represents 35% of their organization. And the other organizations, such as taxpayer services, they've also been cut by about by about 8,600 employees, which represents about 25% of their organization. In the way of positions, the contact representatives, those are the individuals that are at the call sites, the customer service representatives. They've lost 6,000 employees, which is about 25% of their organization. Tax examiners, revenue agents, that combines for about another 7,000 employees that have separated from the IRS.
There are a number of other agencies that are undergoing similar sorts of workforce downsizing. I'm wondering, as you're trying to create a network for former IRS employees, are you creating a network of groups that are supporting these other agencies as well and sharing lessons learned?
Well, in regards to our website is open to any federal government employee. They can certainly benefit from our website. The one caveat we have is that because our team is relatively small, we can only provide one-on-one support to IRS employees, and we do that pro bono. But certainly any other federal government employee can access our website. We have a number of referrals or links to other websites that are supporting federal government employees, such as Civil Service Strong. We are trying to help in that regard.
It's a pretty tough job market out there these days. What are some of the most important lessons that you've learned as you've managed this website and been helping IRS folks through this transition that you want to make sure you share back?
Well, it is important to know that a lot of states and counties are trying to help federal employees. But the challenge is that the market is flooded and there's so few positions to find. So we encourage employees through our website to attend workshops, attend seminars. Most importantly is to network. Optimize your LinkedIn account. Use Eventbrite to find seminars and workshops. Because according to the Department of Labor, 60 to 70% of jobs are found through networking. So we think that's very important. Another aspect is interviewing. A little bit different interviewing for a private sector job than it is for a federal government job. And believe it or not, we not only offer articles and videos on how to prepare for an interview, but we also offer them AI apps that will actually perform mock interviews for an individual. Some even use avatars to conduct those mock interviews. And the individual will get feedback on their responses, in some cases even feedback on their body language.
Do you have any data at this point on how successful you've been in helping folks navigate the transition and find new opportunities?
Well, we've helped a number of employees who have retired early but still need to find employment elsewhere. We've also helped a number of individuals who had to depart the IRS without the age or number of years requirements. So we've helped a number of those employees. Unfortunately, we do not know the exact numbers of those individuals who've prospered from our website, because they may just go to our website, find that material, use that material to help them find jobs. But those that we've helped one-on-one, they've all benefited from our assistance.
Well, let's make sure people know where to find that website. Tell us again the address.
The website address is career support, the number 4, the letter U.com. So career support for you, it's all one word.com. I just want to add, if I may, is that federal government employees need to know that their jobs have been cut, but their worth and their value is still there. They're very important. They're major assets. Government employees are dedicated employees. They're nonpartisan employees by virtue of the Hatch Act. So if there's companies out there that are looking for very responsible and dedicated employees, federal government employees offer that pool of great people.
You're absolutely right. I've been speaking with Perry DeToto. He's the founder of Career Support for You and a former IRS employee. Mr. DeToto, thank you so much for your time and for the work that you're doing to help these folks. We'll post this interview at federalnewsnetwork.com/Federal Drive. Subscribe to the Federal Drive wherever you get your podcasts.